guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a savory scone, a really delicious biscuit. It's a scone, but it's also a biscuit. So it's a feta and dill scone that I'm making today. It's light, it's fluffy, and it's perfect for any like tea party or as an appetizer to serve with anything really. It's really delicious, and all you need is a few ingredients. You need some butter, and you want all your ingredients to be really cold. That's the key over here to making a very flaky and light scone. So you need some butter, cut up into little cubes like this. You need some Greek yogurt. You can get the recipe on my channel and on my website as well, www.dimitrasdishes.com. It's really easy to make at home. So you need a cup of that, some chopped up Dodoni's feta, a little bit of egg for egg wash, and the egg wash is basically just egg and water or milk beaten up together, and we're just going to brush it on top of the scone. Excuse me. You need some eggs to put in the scones, and then the dry ingredients. So you need some all-purpose flour, dill, baking powder, a little bit of sugar, salt, and crushed black pepper. That's it. That's all you need. And we're going to keep the dry ingredients all together because we're going to, add them little by little. So let me take you to the mixer so we can start preparing this. Okay, so I'm going to put all of my dry ingredients in my tabletop, my stand mixer. And I'm just going to start it on a low speed until they all get very well incorporated. Okay, so now you have, everything is nice and incorporated. The butter has broken up into like pea-sized pieces. And at this point, I'm just going to mix my eggs and my yogurt together. Just going to quickly whisk them up. And then I'm going to add them on here. And again, I want to make sure that everything is cold, straight out of the refrigerator. This is the only time in baking where you cannot have things at room temperature. It's important that they're cold. I'm just going to add them in here. And just mix it up until everything is just well combined. And that's it. Once it all comes together, we're just going to take it out and put it on our board, and we're going to roll them out and start to form these. But before we do that, we're going to add our feta cheese in here. So everything is nice and incorporated. I'm waiting to add my feta last. The Dodoni's feta, if you're using a sheep's milk, the Dodoni's feta like I'm using, it's really delicate and soft and creamy. So I don't want it to like cream into this. I want there to be chunks of cheese so that when you're eating these biscuits, you get that bite of feta, and it's really nice. And you're going to get that nice tangy taste from the yogurt, so it's going to go together so perfectly. Okay, so I'm just going to fold my feta in. And the recipe calls for a cup of feta, but I love feta, so more is always better when it comes to feta. You can get the recipe with the measurements on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Everything is on there. Just go ahead and type in feta and dill scones, and it'll pop up. And then you can make this. Okay, so I'm just going to flour my board and lay this all out here, and we're going to start to form our scones. Okay, so once again, I don't have my rolling pins. They're all at the bakery, and I was supposed to bring one with me today because I kind of need one for this, but you know what? It's okay. You can always substitute with any kind of bottle that you have laying around. That'll just do the trick just right. Let me move this around and have my baking sheet ready. So I have my baking sheet lined with parchment paper. You want to have 2 of these ready. You want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees because these are going to cook really, really fast. And they're really quick, as you can see, to prepare. You can prepare these in no time. And these are such a versatile dish. You could do a million recipe. Actually, it's not a dish. You can't really eat this as a meal, even though, trust me, I can eat a bunch of these and I'll get filled up. But I don't recommend it. They're kind of rich from the butter and the cheese. That's why I lighten them up with some yogurt. I know lots of scone recipes call for heavy cream or sour cream, but You can definitely use yogurt. It's healthier, it's lighter, you get that same tang. But you can do a million different things with this one recipe. You could add fire roasted red peppers to it. You could add sun-dried tomatoes, scallions. You can really do whatever, anything with this. It's gonna just taste so delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna roll this out, press this out. Do I even need this? You could do this with your hands. Let's see, just roll it out until it's 3/4 of an inch high. And use any kind of cookie cutter that you have or biscuit cutter. I'm gonna use a square shape one. You can use any shape. You can use round. So I'm gonna have my spatula ready. Okay, so I'm gonna have my spatula ready so that it's easy to detach them. And I'm just gonna flour this a little bit. So I'm gonna continue cutting out these into little squares, and I'll show you what they look like right when they're all done. All right, so you can take your little scraps and reform them gently. Never overwork the dough because you don't want to melt the butter. The cold butter that's in here needs to stay cold and not melted, so that way when it hits the oven and it's gonna melt and create beautiful flaky layers, so you don't want to overwork it. So let me show you how to cut it with a knife if you don't have a cookie cutter. You just basically cut them into little triangles. That's fine too. And this is an easy thing to do because then you don't have to keep gathering up the scraps and rolling them out. So you can just do it this way. I just really like the way the square look looks. All right, so now I'm gonna take my egg wash, which is basically just one egg that I've beaten with a little bit of water. You can beat it with a little bit of milk, whatever you want. And I'm just gonna brush the tops with the egg wash. Okay, so I'm gonna brush these with my egg wash. And my oven is preheated at 400 degrees. I'm gonna pop these in and let them cook for 15 to 20 minutes. It depends completely on your oven. 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown on top and they've puffed up and they're gonna look so delicious. I'm gonna show you what they look like when they're ready. All right guys, so they baked, I was saying 15 minutes because I made these yesterday at the bakery, and I think that oven, it's a convection oven, so it's much, I guess, hotter than my kitchen oven, even though it was 400 degrees there and 400 degrees here. But it took 15 minutes yesterday and it took 22 minutes today, so monitor them. They need to look like this, nice and golden and crisp on top, and then they're gonna be cooked and yummy on the inside. Which one should I take out so I can show you? I guess I'll take this one out since I took this tray out first. It was on top. Obviously the tray on the top rack will cook faster than the tray on the bottom, right? Because heat rises. Let me show you what they look like inside. First of all, they smell incredible. It's gonna be so hard for you not to eat them before it's time to serve. You can smell the dill and the feta, and my God, they're so light. Look at this, come close and look inside. Look at this flaky, yummy, light goodness. That's delicious, guys. This is definitely a winner. You have to make these, serve them, try them. Your guests are gonna love them for sure, and you might have to make more than one batch. Get the recipe, you know where to go, www.dimitrasdishes.com, and I'm gonna place these on a plate and get a fork and eat this. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.